Hello everyone. So we are here with a discussion on a very important recent development. The development is, as you can see in the background, the development is related to the states of Haryana and Rajasthan, where they have agreed sharing of Yamuna waters. Okay. The relevance of this particular topic in UPSC is related to your general studies paper 2, as general studies paper 2 has no it has topics like polity, governance, etc. It can be relevant there. It can be relevant for other topics also, but we are primarily going to look at it from this perspective. Okay, now first of all, what exactly is this agreement, and is this an agreement which is of recent origin? No, this agreement is not of a recent origin, and this agreement was an agreement signed in the year, or you can say it was a memorandum of agreement, MOA, signed in 1994, and since then almost 32 years 32 years since the agreement, the memorandum, MOA was signed, finally the two states have decided to come into an agreement. Okay? So the first thing is that this is not an agreement signed recently. Secondly, if you have to look at what are the key highlights of the agreement, the key highlights of the agreement include, first of all, what exactly is the share. And if you look at the 1994 agreement, it says that approximately 580 million cubic meters of surplus water of Yamuna river during the monsoon, it will now be supplied annually to the state of Rajasthan. So the state of Rajasthan gets 580 million cubic meter of water. That too, it is of surplus water during the monsoon. Along with it, the water, where would the water be released from? The Hathnikut barrage of Haryana, and this particular flow of water that would be there, it would go into run along the western Yamuna canal system. Along with it, a 300-kilometer underground pipeline will be constructed, and the estimated cost of it would be 3900 crores. It would be constructed between the Hathnikut barrage and Rajasthan. The regions which primarily benefit in the state of Rajasthan, because as we know, the state of Rajasthan is a water deficient region. So there, water stress districts like the district, Sikar district, and the Junjunu district, the Shekhawati region that is there, they basically benefit. Along with it, the Bhiwani and the Fatehabad districts of Haryana, they also benefit, along with the districts of Rajasthan. Okay. Now, this agreement that is there, it is also going to accelerate the implementation of as you can see, Renuka issue, as well as the Lakhwar multi-purpose dam projects, and all of this was a part of the 1994 agreement itself. Okay. Now, here, if you look at your prelims examination, for your prelims examination, these facts are quite important. But this is not only the basic facts that you have to know about the agreement. There are some additional things as well related to the state of related to Yamuna waters, and which state has what percentage of allocation. You can see what you also need to know about the agreement, that this agreement that was there initially, this agreement was not just an agreement between the state of Haryana and Rajasthan, as it included the governments of Haryana Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Himachal, as well as the National Capital Territory of Delhi. Another very important fact for your prelims examination. You have to know that what was the no, the original participants of the agreement. Who were the original participants of the agreement? Okay. Uh, Obviously, creation of Uttarakhand. So Uttarakhand was created, so it also became the party of this very agreement. There is a possibility that you are asked a question related to this. Now, what is the objectives of the agreement? What are the objectives of the agreement? So the objectives of the agreement, of course, there are a few things which seems to be very naturally present here, like equitable sharing of the water, scientific mechanism for regulating seasonal water release, facilitating coordination and development of strong storage reservoirs, along with it improving water supply, irrigation, etc. Okay. Now, here there is a important institution as well, because your GS paper 2 also talks about institution. So what are the institutions? The primary institution, Upper Yamuna River Board, which is the administrative ministry of the board, the Ministry of Jal Shakti. Which, when was the board constituted? 1995. Where is its headquarters? What are basically the composition? That means who are participating as a part of this particular board, and what are its functions. So this board, what is the history of this board? You have to know about that as well. Now, another thing that you have to know here is what has been the reasons for the delay of the agreement, and this is something which you will see very much present under the Indian context. A lot of such agreements be beneficial for states, specifically states like Rajasthan, which are water deficient. They face issues because of pending delay. Why? First of all, lack of water conveyance infrastructure. So there was no infrastructure, so infrastructural issues are there. Project planning becomes one of the issues. Delay, interstate administrative differences, and this is where the importance of the Parliament of India comes. At least if you have to understand what is the context here, so you have to you have to know about an article under the Indian Constitution related to how the Parliament of India has the authority to deal with sharing of water, interstate waters. The decision lies with the Parliament. However, this is not an agreement, or this is not a law passed by the Parliament. It's an agreement between the two states. But if you have to look at the constitutional perspective to it, generally the dispute, if there are any between two states or more than two states, that falls under the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. So federal disputes fall under the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. However, in this particular case, that is in case of river waters, sharing of river water, that dispute is exempted from the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, and the Parliament has the authority to decide such sharing of waters, or for that matter river valleys, that decision lies with the Parliament. Now this is just a contextual information. It has nothing to do with this very agreement. The reason is that this agreement is between the states. Okay. So interstate administrative differences, there are obviously administrative issues. Both are agricultural states. In fact, all the states here are agricultural states involved. So there are going to be problems related to which state gets what share of waters. Then comes delay in upstream dam projects, that is delays related to and administrative processes, the bureaucratic no red tapeism and all of these things also have impacted this. Now, what could be the significance of the agreement? It has implemented the 1994 agreement. It strengthens water security, specifically in water deficient regions. Efficient utilization of surplus monsoon waters that are there. Most of the times, the waters, if they are properly diverted, rather than flooding and all of this, it could effectively be for those regions which are water deficient. Cooperative federalism, again a concept related to GS paper 2, where we see a cooperation between states to resolve issue concerns both the states, in this case both the state, but otherwise there were a number of other parties as well as catalyzing basin infrastructure development. Now this is something which will also affect other previous agreements and no other important projects as well. Okay, so this is basically the crux of the issue. You are supposed to read about it because it's something which is a part of your syllabus under GS paper. Thank you.